What's up everybody, it's Dan here from ToSkateboards.com, and today I'm going to teach you all how to ollie higher, how to ollie better. So if you're watching this video today, I'm assuming that you maybe know how to ollie, that you maybe can ollie a little bit, or maybe you've just been scrolling the internet, watching these videos, you've tried a couple ollies, you're not having a lot of success. So in this video, I'm going to break down to you some of the things that have really helped me over the last couple years get better at ollies. Ollies are a continuous process. You're always going to be learning and getting better at ollies. That is the one trick in skateboarding that, in my opinion, you can never peak at. You can only ollie higher. There really is no limit on your potential and your progress. So that's why skateboarders are continuously getting better at this. Even people who've been skating for 5 years, they're still getting better at ollies today. So if you're just starting out with skateboarding and you're not really happy with your 1 to 2 inch ollies off the ground, trust me, trust the process. This will get better. This will work for you. Whatever you do, just make sure you're getting out there and practicing consistently. If you go out there, practice your ollies and put down your board for 2 weeks, don't expect to come back to your board and see tremendous progress and instant gratification. That's not how it works. You're a lot better off practicing just a little bit each day, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Then after 2 weeks, you will see some progress. So get out there, practice consistently, apply your knowledge, your learnings from this video, analyze your mistakes, implement the right fixes, practice consistently, and you will be there in no time with some high ollies. Alright, so now I'm going to get into a few of the main things that's going to help you with higher ollies. First things first, the best thing if you want to ollie higher is to set goals for yourself. When I say set goals, you need to set a goal as to how high you're trying to ollie. And that can level up and up with each session and as you continue to improve. So if you're just a beginner, your goal might be to ollie over a hockey stick that's laying on the ground or a stick laying on the ground. That's where I started. Then, once you get comfortable with that, your goal might be to ollie up a curb or something like that. Your next goal after that might be to ollie over a skateboard that's standing up. So by setting goals for yourself for how high to ollie, by having a goal, something for you to ollie over, a new height, you're going to push yourself to ollie higher than you normally would if you were just ollieing on the flat ground. Now, one thing that has really helped me level up my ollies, ollie over higher obstacles, is first the foot setup. Modify your foot setup with the ollie. For a higher ollie, what you're going to want to do is keep your front foot a little further back, a little further from the bolts and closer to your back foot. By having your front foot positioned closer to your back foot, further from the bolts, what's going to happen is you're going to have a far longer range of motion to slide your foot, which will allow you to get a higher ollie as a result. What's going to happen is if you have your front foot very close to your back foot, the ollie, when you pop, it's going to rock it right up, and then since you're going to have so much room to slide your foot, it'll give you a nice level out, and by the time your board is leveled, it's going to be a lot higher in the air versus if you had your front foot on top of the bolts. Say you had your front foot on top of the bolts, your pop is not going to rock it as high, and you're not going to have as much room to slide your foot, meaning that your ollie is just going to be smaller. It's not going to go as high because your front foot is not going to have as much range of motion to bring the board up into the air. So number 1, modify your foot setup by bringing your front foot back. Number 2, the second thing that's helped me a ton with ollieing higher, and I think this is one of the most important things, is applying a ton of pressure onto your front foot in setting up for the ollie. So before you've popped the board, before you pop it at all, press down a ton of weight on your front foot toes, and what that's going to do is allow you to generate so much more power into your pop, because what is kinetic energy? It is energy that is stored up, and by applying that kinetic energy down to your board, it needs to get released. When you pop, all that energy is going to get released. Your board is going to go super high up in the air. So that was number 2, apply a ton of pressure to your front foot before popping the board. Now let's talk about the pop for number 3. The pop motion for a perfect ollie, for the best ollie, is going to follow some kind of U motion. As in, your foot is going to kind of go up, forward, and down. both your feet are going to kind of go up, forward, and down. The way I would best describe this is one of those amusement park or carnival rides they have where you all sit on that stage, on that platform, and the ride kind of just maneuvers you back, up, forward, and down, and then back up, forward, and down. It kind of does that motion, and that's kind of what you want to mimic for a perfect ollie. And this U rotation type motion is gonna go hand in hand with some of the tips I gave you before, in the sense that you're gonna want to definitely have your front foot a lot closer to your back foot for some good power. You're gonna want to press down a ton of weight in the setup before popping onto your front foot, and then that's all gonna shift back to your back foot, and it's gonna really mimic that motion of that ride that kind of goes back, up, and forwards, and then down. So the reason that works out so well is because you're applying so much pressure on your front foot, and that pressure needs to go somewhere, and it's going to go right into your pop. So when you're ready to pop, you're going to shift your weight so much from your front foot to your back foot, and you can kind of let your upper body like follow that motion, is leaning forward to leaning back. And what you're going to do is your tail is going to scrape against the ground using all that power, and you're going to almost kick back a little bit backwards for a good ollie. And what that's going to do is really allow you to get that good U motion. You're gonna kick back with your back foot, slide your front foot up, and at the same time, you're gonna lift that back foot up, and you're gonna get a good, nice ollie. Shifting your momentum from forward to back, that's gonna allow you to get that good U motion, that good ollie, and you're gonna take right off for some height. One more thing to be very mindful of is your back foot as well, because the ollie motion it's a jump, but it's also about how you bring your legs up and, really bring your knees to your chest, to your upper body, tucking your knees. So jumping is only really half of what an ollie is. The other half of the ollie is just literally just bringing your legs up into almost a seated position. And that's going to do a lot for you. What you really need to be mindful of is your back foot. What a lot of people do is they forget to bring their back foot up. My back foot ends up being the highest out of both my feet. My front foot does not go as high as my back foot when my ollie is peaking. So really just be mindful of your back foot. You are performing a jump, and you're going to cock your knee, tuck it, and almost tuck it to your chin. That's how much you want to emphasize bringing that back foot up. So do all those things, and I promise your ollie is going to get a lot higher. The ollie is really an explosive motion. It is so quick, so fast, so explosive, and you're going to continue getting better and better at it the more you practice it. One last thing that has helped me a lot with just maintaining high ollies is ollieing onto higher objects. Similar, this goes hand in hand with having goals, setting goals for yourself. If you're a more advanced skater and you're watching this and you've got tricks down like 50-50 grinds, rather than trying this trick that you have down on a small ledge, which would be easier, try these tricks that you have down on the biggest obstacle possible, the tallest ledge that there is. That will do so much for your skating. That will do so much for your ollie height, your board control. So that's just one last thing I want to leave you off with if you're a more advanced skater, or if you're really starting to master these techniques, is rather than ollieing onto the smaller obstacle, always go bigger. And by practicing that, you're going to train your body to make something like a 2-foot high ollie seem very easy to you. So that's all I got for today on how to ollie higher. Thank you for watching today. Our goal at How To Skateboards is always to make you better, to empower your skateboarding journey. So I hope that this video has helped you ollie higher. And if you're not really there yet, if your ollies aren't quite there, we've got lots of short form videos on just how to ollie from start to finish, and lots of little tips within our short form content. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and we'll keep you locked and loaded with How to Skateboard.